Hey everybody, we are on WebDM Twitch. It's Thursday. I am back in a groove this week, playing my full complement of games, and now I know what day of the week it is, but still not what year. So I'd like to go around and see how everybody's doing, how their week has been, and how the day finds them. WebDM Grant, our producer extraordinaire. Now, how are you?
Well, I've been on the job for 2 days, and I've nearly died. No, other than that, I'm doing very well. I'm excited to be here. As they say in my neighborhood, I'm moving and grooving, breaking necks and cashing checks. That's just the way I roll. And I had a bunch of sad songs I was gonna sing with my little wretched voice. Nah, I'll save those for another time, because I'm bringing my goblin style to this shindig here today. And back to you, Jim.
All right. Excellent. Lindy, how are you?
I'm doing super duper spiffy. I've got a bit of a cough, so I'm going to be heavy-handed with that mute button today. But if I forget, or I'm too late, my reflexes aren't fast enough, I apologize in advance. But I am hyped to be here this evening, to be back into my role of Mer Valentine. We're totally not going to be playing matchmaker or anything. That would be ridiculous.
Why in the world would you do that?
Yeah, why would you?
Just trying to save an endangered species. It's fine.
Right, exactly. Just doing it.
Environmentalist.
Yeah. Most altruistic of reasons.
And why wouldn't Mer have the most altruistic of reasons? Of course, everyone's favorite friendly neighborhood tiefling here. TK, how are you doing?
It's me. It's TK. I'm doing great. I'm having a great time. We figured out what was wrong with my internet, and it was nothing besides being Spectrum. My computer was overheating, but we fixed it, and hopefully I'll be 100% present today to play Icky, my lizard folk ranger, and if anybody touches my daughter, I will rip their legs off.
Well, I think that's a healthy response.
It's pretty typical, and I think warranted.
Sure. There is a strange man, many centuries old, newly awoken from his stone prison. But before we get into all of that, Anna, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm in Seattle. I've been taking care of my niece and nephew and just hanging out with family and friends, mostly family. Not losing my mind over children. Shout out to everybody that has children, because I am old and I'm very tired every day. But anyway, other than that, I'm good. Sorry about the blue. I don't know what's going on, but
there you go.
I'm doing great. Yes.
Looks good. Looks good.
Yeah, I'm excited because I heard Little Bird told me that last week somebody was trying to get Ellie and this guy together. I don't know who would do that. It would be so crazy to do that.
So
sweet innocent
crazy. Yeah. and Ellie was sleeping off a big rage most of last week. So yeah.
Good. As she should.
Right. And Josh, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there and wondering what a bone sorcerer looks like.
I mean, there's a lot of different ways that it could go. Sure.
Mm-hmm,
So, I mean, we'll find out later on. We are playing Land Between Two Rivers tonight on WebDM Twitch, which is sponsored by Tabletop Loot. You guys should check out Tabletop Loot for all your dice and accessory needs. They've got cups, they've got mugs. Go check them out. Particularly, I believe they've now got these little token things with our logo on them that you get with the order. Maybe they always had that, and I've just now realized it. I'm coming out of a distant fog and now realizing all of the things that I've forgotten all this entire time. But I have not forgotten what an amazing dice company Tabletop Loot is. So go check them out. Last week on Land Between Two Rivers, the party faced off against the Medusa Queen, sort of exchanging a captive prisoner and hopefully getting water under the bridge. We didn't steal or arrange to have stolen an artifact of yours and then beat your daughter up in the middle of the desert. And she didn't, send you on some sort of mission to potentially assassinate a rival of some kind from her. But the party had lost the trail of False Ellie somewhere to the south and had decided to stay in the land of the petrified forest, really just the petrified land, for a little while longer, perhaps to gain the trust or favor of this Medusa. And so having talked to some of the locals and, of course, dealt with the newly awoken Bakroithoik Telmuno, the hero of ancient ages past who believes he's in a wizard's dream, the party decided to head north to see what this bone sorcerer was all about. And on the way there, had learned a bit about what the locals thought about this particular sorcerer. That apparently he turns people into some sort of goo or something. Most people who go up near his neck of the woods do not return. And that is where you find yourselves traveling towards as we start here. And so it's not that far of a trip. You guys can probably make it there in less than half a day's worth of travel. And I believe we last left off, it was the middle of the night, or sorry, not the middle of the night. It had just nightfall. You were at a village with about 40 or so goblinoids, trading with them, feeding them, and sort of getting some information and an idea of what lay ahead of you before traveling onwards. As far as I know, that was the plan. Anybody, any changes, anything else between, or are we all set?
Seems good.
Seems good.
Mm-hmm.
So you leave the small village behind and, using your skiff, race across the petrified wasteland at night. Blue, the first time you really traveled through here, you were sleeping, right? You had taken the previous night's traveling duties, piloting duties, and were sleeping during the day. So this is sort of your first chance to really get a feel for the landscape and the environment around here. And I'd like Baloo to make me a nature or survival check, your choice.
That was a 25 for survival.
All right. So there is a feel to the land, right? That Baloo has this connection. You have the strong impression from this connection to the land that you are near a powerful either elemental pathway or elemental gate of some kind, and have been for a while now. Everything about this place is giving Baloo this impression.
Well, now that I really think about it, guys, this place is awfully weird. He says to the group.
Am I there?
Yeah, everyone's on the skiff,
Okay.
traveling northwards. Yeah.
Yeah, getting a weird vibe. You sense any? You feel anything, Lindy? Sorry, not Lindy. Mer.
I'm sorry, what was the question? I had an audio issue. My cable unplugged. I got it back and began driving.
Do you sense anything strange?
Well, there is a bone sorcerer. So, aside from that, I feel like there is nothing else strange.
All right. I don't know. This is it's not normal Earth.
Yeah, I've seen all types of ground-like things. I mean, it's not Earth and Hell. I mean, the 5th level is all ice, and this is you get used to seeing all types of ground at this.
Okay. Well, it's good to know. Just thinking about it.
Keep an eye on it if you wish. I don't know anything about dirt.
No, me neither.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, there's this. It's more just a the effect of the landscape, or the fact that this place is sort of so barren, it bears the hallmarks of there being some sort of gate or pathway, or any number of planar convergences that you could might be able to think of. But it's definitely something elemental and or planar in nature as you travel across this place, because as we said last week, there's really only 2 or 3 things that live out here. There are basilisks, and there are goblins that eat them, and then that's kind of it. There's not really much else in this portion of the wasteland. It takes a very short amount of time to travel to the region that the goblinoids pointed you in. Sorry, goblin folk. Thank you, Chad. And it's hillier than where you were at. And you can see, even in the dim light of nighttime, that there's a haze in the air of perhaps fumes or maybe smoke of some kind. The air has a stagnant quality to it and a hazy quality to it.
Is the smell familiar?
It smells slightly not sulfurous, but acrid and sharp, like a mineral. Like there's I don't know if you're like water from a deep well, smell like that, or like old pipes, that sort of smell. Metallic, but very sharp.
Do you guys smell that? It kind of smells like Mer's home a little bit. Not her house, but where she's originally from.
Yes.
Yeah, no, or deep earth, real deep. Well, I guess.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, to Drow. Does your Drow nose sense anything? Right?
My drow nose. I don't know.
One nostril.
Does it? Yeah, half. This is the drow side. This is the Metallo side.
Right. I mean, it's a the smell that you get is rather overpowering. It's difficult to tell what exactly it is, but Drow haven't lived under the ground for
yeah.
or two.
They do not recognize it. It is.
I'm going crazy tonight, man.
It is very potent, though. I love to apply perfume.
Oh yeah.
So give me an idea. Mer's driving. Baloo's
Yes.
sort of on the lookout, trying to figure out the landscape. He senses that there's something going on. How about everyone else?
I think Ellie's kind of going like this. It really smells weird here. But I think that's rude. Never mind. She like thinks about it, that she doesn't want to offend Mer and like her home, even though this isn't her home. Her face is very much like
sort of like just trying to keep it together. Yeah.
Doing her best.
And how about Icky and Gilded?
Icky is keeping a lookout, even though she doesn't trust what's his face. She's gonna go ahead and keep a lookout because it's kind of what she does at this point. She spends a lot of time underground. Is there anything that she would recognize about the smell?
Yeah, it smells like some sort of mineral springs of some kind.
Oh.
And as you're traveling through, you start to see little bubbling pools and the like that collect in the gullies and little ditches that divide the landscape here. And a lot of the smoke and fumes seem to be coming from those pools as well.
Does she know if there's anything inherently dangerous about these, if they are acidic in nature? Things like
they
that?
Are almost certainly dangerous.
Okay, then if she recognizes anything like that, danger, etc., then she will point it out to the rest of the group as like, hey, I know I'm the weird lizard that just like hangs out underground 90% of the time, but maybe don't touch this. Except for you, scrawny person, you can touch it, not Ellie, the other one.
Oh, just I guess tongues is
Yeah.
worn off by then, and just
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait.
She'll actually like point at it when people aren't looking and she'll go and try to like indicate to him that it's safe to drink from it.
Wow.
So the other human is with us?
yeah, he's
Oh.
And
Okay,
he's
sorry.
not stone.
and he's not stoned. So what had happened
Okay.
at the very end last time that you guys left the Medusa's lair, and something, I forget what precipitated it, but someone tried to hold him, like cast a whole person. Someone tried to polymorph him. There was a calm emotions.
Yes.
That's what started it. A calm emotions, because he was freaking out because it was a bunch of goblins and bugbears that was in front of him, and then polymorphed him.
Yeah. Oh, and he called you beautiful,
He
but you were
did.
asleep.
He mentioned something about.
See, he said, like, I've never seen anyone so beautiful.
I'm not sure if that's.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's
He
totally
never
what he
will
said.
again.
How do I
This
talk
is the last time.
But he decided you had tongues on him or tongues cast on him for like an hour, and one of the last things he had said was that he was sure that he was in a wizard's dream, and that this would all be over very soon.
Yeah.
So
Noted.
he's kind of sulking, or he just assumes you're all illusions, or pigments, or something.
Yeah. And you said he was handsome, right?
Yes, he is. He's handsome and quite swole. He's very,
But does he look like Donald Gleason?
he could certainly resemble him.
All
'Cause if
right.
not,
How dare you?
I think
I thought we were friends.
I think Jim just changed what my downtime activity was going to be.
This is now Icky's worst nightmare.
Now that Ellie's sort of like, she's woken up from her 21-hour nap that she was long, and sees old Axe Dreamer over here. So he's here, but he's not really, unless you get in his face, he's not really saying much.
He's had a day.
He's had quite a day,
A little bit of culture shock.
no doubt. And he's wearing, I think, some of Myr's.
Yeah, well, he only had his sex harness on.
kind of sex.
So I got like some silks and stuff and like made him a robe so he could be covered.
He's it's like a sarong.
Yeah, he's got it on underneath still. But
So that's where we're at.
Wow.
As y'all navigate through these narrow ravines and gullies where there's these sort of bubbling, oozy sort of pools, and are trying to find presumably some sort of cave or residence.
What I wanted to be doing during this time is teaching Mr. Man how to play Three Goblin Ante, which is the worst card game. Really, it doesn't matter how the cards fall. Gildan always wins. But he'll learn. He's learning, essentially, that it's a game you teach people, and over time Gildan will reveal, doesn't matter how I deal, he's going to lose, and you just make up a story that goes right along with it.
There's some
And I'm also going to teach him how to make a coin disappear, where you like hide it between your thumb and your finger. Not back here, not anywhere else. You just hide it there. And it's the plain and simple things. I'm explaining to him that magic is another word for lying. When people say they're magical, it means they're liars. Unless their magic comes from above or below or beyond.
Yeah.
And if he's gonna be like, I'm swole, we're having a wrestling match, he and I, because I'm the swole one of this group. Don't need some Ken doll figure coming up here and pushing Gildan out. This is my house.
To wrestle him, he's happy to wrestle. He picked up on the cards pretty quickly, right? He's not
All right, then we're wrestling.
actually-
Three Goblin Annie is supposed to take 4 months for him to figure out.
Exactly. Let me see real quick. It's only 3 cards. He only 19. for his intelligence for that. He's sharp, right? He's not.
He's not dumb. The fact that he knows what a wizard is frightening.
Sure.
All right, let me.
What
Oh,
world
trust
do we
Magic
live
is
in
not
that
that
I-
terrible.
So we're gonna wrestle.
Okay.
How can I be rooting for Gildan? I don't.
This is like close to when the.
You don't have to root for Gildan.
Yes, I do. On principle, the other guy looks like Donald Gleason now. I don't have a chance.
All right.
All right. 25.
25. Ooh, I got a 12 for my first one. So he goes in, right? Like he's, he's not for whatever it is that you've got. Gildan.
He comes in, penetration step, dump him on his rear and stand over him and be like, kind of like I did with the Medusa, and be like, when you're wrestling, you don't want to end up on your back. You want to avoid that at all costs.
It's not real. None of this is real. It's fine. We'll go on.
And
he
he's
just-
in the corner. She's like, take an eye.
Next, I want to teach him the oldest trick in the book. I'm going to let him kind of get like he's in an advantageous position. Then I'm going to spin him around in his silky myrrh robes. The two of them in cahoots. I think she's priming him. 16.
I got an 18 for this one. So he skips out of your grasp here.
No. I dropped all fours. All right, now it's time to wrestle dirty. I'm going to try to get into an advantageous position. I'm going to use my thumb and check for oil. Yes, it's exactly what you think it is.
Oh, I rolled a 1. He's got 7.
Thank goodness I got a 10, so it's turning into an ugly brawl where we're like slapping each other silly, and then I just reach under and just his eyes bulge out, I imagine, and then he like bites one of my goblin ears, but we end in an embrace like, that was fun. Let's never do it again.
No.
And then I give Baloo the stink eye.
Well, Blue's not paying attention to you anymore.
He's not. He's up there sharp-eyed with. Bekroizoik rolls away from the wrestling match with a sore back and just sort of, none of this matters. He just grumbles.
And that's what I say. I teach him, but everything matters. He will use this experience in the future, and one day he will be the one checking for the oil, and he will dig and he will find it.
Just rubbing it out of size. It's fine.
I don't think Ellie was paying attention to that because she thinks wrestling is stupid.
Nice.
It looked like
Well, her new boyfriend is obviously stupid then. He's on Gildan's level. He's a goblin bully in a sex harness. That's nothing more.
Wow.
She doesn't know this though.
Yeah. As you get deeper and deeper into these hills, and the fumes and vapor coming off from these oozing pools, it grows very thick, and you eventually will spot a large bowl-shaped depression in the ground. It extends perhaps maybe 100 yards or more. Sort of a clearing, and in it are 2 large pools of bubbling greenish yellow liquid, and at the far end of the bowl-shaped depression is really like a crack of some kind that you can see extends much deeper into the earth. Really the only significant feature I've come across so far around here.
So it was like a fissure, kind of like
Something like that, yeah.
split in the earth.
Mhm.
Ooh, Myrrh.
Yes.
Look.
I see. This is the bubbling thing in the fissure. Is there
Okay.
something specific about it you would like to pull
I just thought maybe we could stop.
If
We
you,
haven't been on the
if
road
you
that
would
long.
like me to pull over, I can pull over.
I'm just gonna go inside real quick and I'll come out.
Okay,
Okay.
that's
All right.
fine. All right, I'll pull over.
Always the case with him.
I gotta go potty.
So you get out in this large sort of depression, and then I mean, how close do you get to the?
Well, gauging actual like harm. I'm not gonna not gonna hurt myself, but I want to get as close as I can.
Okay.
Does this feel? I mean, like this is kind of the vibe that he and I are having right now is like an earth elemental, like an elemental earth presence, just like acidic and whatnot. So he's looking for further signs of like extraplanar.
Yeah, I see what you get at. So like Baloo would have an understanding of it that's planar influence like this is almost like how would I put it? Like a metaphysical tectonic plate, right? Like there's something that's pressing against your reality that's causing this these phenomenon, this petrification or these sort of sulfurous mineral pools here. And so it could be that there is something like a link to the plane of Earth that's causing these things. Where it is, you're not sure, but you feel that there's something something here that is similar enough. Similar enough, Blue.
Well, I can't idle too long. I might have to come back later and investigate it. Unless the group wants to jump down the stinky hole with me. Buddy?
Ellie shakes her head like, is it those weird fish that taste disgusting? Is that what you saw?
No. No.
What'd you see?
It's just a big hole in the ground, but I could be a door. Metaphysically, metaphorically, a door.
So
She
Baloo's
looks
out.
at Icky.
Is Gildan out? Ellie, you're still in the skiff?
Yes.
Okay.
If Icky's still on there, I think Ellie would look over to her to see if she was going to go into the weird, smelly place.
Icky's not like super into going in, but she will look at their new friend and say, "You should go. Strong men like you."
Gildan's going to take him by the hand and say, "Come on, let's go. Every time you find a stink hole, you go right in."
Oh, all right. Do you have a weapon I could use?
Yes.
I have this, and I hand him a
I'm going to give him a choice.
Give him the stiletto dagger.
No, I think I'm going to give him... I give him a choice. I show him both Gildan's favorite warhammer as well as a miraculous stick, the magical great club. Where it's like, he may choose, and I let him know if he chooses wrong, he will fall dead to the earth, for the gods have spoken.
He like looks at you, and I'm actually gonna.
I love messing with you.
He grabs the warhammer.
He's
Awesome.
and as he takes it, I go, no, and just kind of get his heart to shake. I'm
It's
like, you
grabs
choose.
it and just walks away from it.
Awesome.
He's good. You have chosen wisely.
I'm not gonna lie, Icky's like impressed by this, but she's not gonna say anything. She's just gonna be like,
and then Ellie just looks at him.
Had enough.
She looks-
I hate him less.
What is that? What was Ellie doing?
Oh, she just looks at him like he passed by while he was about to hand him a javelin. Like,
Aww.
So who all is going into the hole of stench? Baloo and the Kroitik?
Are you just gonna leave us, Wendy?
I will come along.
That's exactly the sound that Icky makes too. She's just like, I see what's happening.
Icky and Ellie, if you could keep an eye and make sure Gildan does not crash the skiff again. I
What are
would
you
much
talking
appreciate
about? I was going in the dark stink hole.
it. Oh, you were going in the dark stink hole?
100%. And I actually want to leave Mr. Man. No, I want him to come with me. I want him touching Ellie. I don't trust him.
He's sort of like up there with Baloo right now.
Ellie, it's your choice.
He's waiting.
But too much love will kill you every time, as the song goes.
What's love?
Oh no, I'm going to start tearing up and get all the feels. Well, we each take turns singing what love is. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more.
No more, Gildan. No
Wait.
more. Just
A baby's
stop.
gonna hurt you?
No, it is. He is using the term "baby" as a term of endearment. It is like a pet name, like darling or sweetheart.
I've got this.
Okay. That sounds weird. Love
Gildan's,
sounds-
Gildan's going to teach you what love is.
Oh no, please!
No, absolutely not.
What's going on?
Veto.
I think I don't want to know.
Is it everybody except Icky and Ellie going into the hole?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's Icky and Ellie.
Telling you, before the
hate-
end of this episode, I'm going to teach the lesson.
I hate,
Please
man.
don't.
Oh, I hate to split the party, but I hate to leave the skiff. This,
Same.
oh boy. Icky will follow them into the fissure. And indicate that Ellie should probably do the same.
Yeah. I think seeing Icky go, she'll definitely join.
Well, I have a ton of rope.
Oh
so
yeah, good
I'm
point.
just gonna like tie it to the skiff and then like tie it over to me.
Oh yeah, good point. In fact, Icky will hand you the rope that she has, which is a ton. Like I have,
Okay.
like 500 feet of
Yeah,
rope.
likewise. But most of my
Yeah.
rope is silk.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
yeah, no, it'll be
okay. You got like the fancy shibari rope.
Well, I mean, it has many uses.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a business expense. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Icky will not go out of her way to keep Ellie away from Aspen. He's earned some respect, so she's like, okay, you're not so bad.
He's up point right now, more just like if this is the hallucination he has to have, let's just get it over with.
That's
Can't
how I
wait
feel
for him to
most
find
times.
out that's not a hallucination.
It's not the case.
I feel bad. I'm starting to like him.
there are places to like hide the skiff as well. So boulders and other cracks in the side of the of the dip here. So it's not like it would be completely out in the open. Baloo, are you were sort of headed there in the first place yourself? Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. What are you doing? I'm assuming you're on point.
Yeah, I didn't take my detect magic today, but use my other senses and start going deeper. Yeah, I will descend.
So the fissure itself, it starts out, it's quite wide. There's probably room enough for 4 or 5 of y'all to walk side by side. But as you get deeper into it, and the ceiling overhead goes from being the open sky to this rock tunnel, you notice that there is a distinct change in both the temperature and just the feel of the air in here. You start to get really sort of clammy and sweaty, and you notice that it's very humid. The deeper into this tunnel that you go, the air is moist and thick, which is virtually unheard of in the world.
I'm going to preemptively, like, put a silk scarf around my face so I don't inhale anything bad, hopefully.
Okay.
Or it'll buy me time.
Icky is disturbed enough by this that she will sort of cast under her breath primeval awareness.
Okay.
So, to see whether or not she can sense any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fays, fiends, undead within a mile. It's only for a minute, but
you detect several strong elemental presences further into the tunnel, but it's not like a creature. It's something else, something different.
does it feel like the elemental that lives inside of their skiff?
Something like that, yeah. Like a spirit that's bound to a place, but not necessarily animate.
Okay. She'll touch Baloo's shoulder. She'll pull ahead and touch Baloo's shoulder and tell him that, since she feels like Baloo would be the person that would understand it the most. She'll say, there are spirits trapped, bound, leashed here. Like the skiff.
Yeah, I think you're onto something. It's interesting. Yeah, we need to go deeper. It could be anything.
If it gets loose, how do we fight it?
Well, we might not need to.
But if we need to.
It's going to be really hard to hit. So just sharp, hard weapons.
Hold up. Are you needing to protect yourself from the air elemental if it gets loose?
No, we're more thinking about like,
sorry.
No. I was more thinking about some kind of earth spirit or something.
Yeah.
You might have to dig through it.
Yeah, I don't think that Icky has spent enough time around elementals to know too much about them, other than knowing that it is an elemental. So she'll just tell Baloo and then fall back to beside Ellie.
Okay.
Okay. So back to where Ellie was. The Axe Dreamer, Bakroithoik, is sort of staying near where Baloo is. You're still in the portion of the tunnel where there's daylight that is illuminating it, and it's not you haven't gone so deep into it that you can't get a good view of things around there. It's just that you hit this sort of wall of humidity and moisture that was odd for you. So Icky's come up, sort of shared this information. Everyone else is, I guess, kind of hanging out and around. Are you going deeper into the caverns, or are you going to go somewhere else?
I'd like to keep going until we find something, particularly of both Icky and I.
Yeah. As you travel deeper into the tunnel, the air becomes just sort of oppressive, thick with humidity. And Baloo, yourself, you're sweating, your fur's all matted and everything. You can see Bakroith, like his sweat's beading on his brow. The air is hazy with some sort of spore or maybe some kind of like dust or something in the air. It's hazy here, and visibility is limited to about 30 or so feet in the tunnel. Looks like there's maybe an intersection up ahead, or the tunnel splits into two.
Well,
is there anything that is distinguishable between these two tunnels?
So as you look down, there's one towards the right. It clearly steeply drops and sort of curves a bit. So it looks like there's also maybe liquid or something on the tunnel floor after the slope and the drop. And then off towards the left, you can see a flicker of candlelight against the cave wall.
Well,
that's probably the way to go.
I mean, probably, unless we want to swim in some some cave water.
Mm.
No, we don't.
No.
No, yeah,
Not
take the
happening.
right.
Okay. And at this point, everyone has some kind of dark vision. Yeah. Is there? No.
But Icky does have a hooded lantern.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, so there's Icky with a hooded lantern. That's what I was curious about. If anyone had.
Yeah, I was about to ask what the lighting was like as we descend.
I can see.
The lighting here is definitely dim light. And really it's just you can tell that there's a candlelight down this one tunnel. There's the last little bit of sunlight behind you, and then whatever it is that Iggy is letting out from the hooded lantern.
Yeah. She'll actually hand the lantern to Ellie because she has a stronger sense of smell than Ellie does. So she probably has a higher chance of finding the group.
Okay. So we're taking the left-hand path.
Yeah, towards the candle.
Okay. Are y'all sneaking or otherwise trying to be quiet?
Mur will try to be quiet.
Then yes.
Mur's almost always trying to be quiet.
All right.
Like, honestly.
Yeah, Icky's not gonna quite do pass without a trace until her primeval awareness has worn off. Which it's only a minute, but as they get closer, she'll eventually do it. But not right now.
Okay.
Got a 17 in stealth.
17 from her.
Got a 24 for stealth.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got 23.
A 23.
Why are we sneaking?
There's candlelight up ahead.
I see candlelight up ahead.
Because
Okay.
Jim asked us if we'd like to sneak.
Yeah, I was just curious if y'all were.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah,
a
you got-
19. Starting to wish I'd cast that, actually.
So here's what it does. They're all hidden. Gildan's gonna light up his head again and cast continual flame, and start marching down. Here's why.
Okay.
Gildan has negative modifiers to his stealth and rolls at disadvantage almost always because of the armor he's wearing and the nature of who he is. So I'm trying to create a more advantageous opportunity for everyone else to hide and draw whatever hate.
Okay. All right. In that case, I'll give you the group advantage as Gildan is providing a distraction for everything else.
19.
24.
Or 19's still the lowest, I think.
Mhm.
Should have just cast it.
That's right. So as you walk down this left-hand tunnel, you see that it curves gently to the right, and you can tell that there are several passages along the right-hand side of the tunnel wall that maybe all lead to the same large room or space of some kind, because they all flicker the same sort of cycle of candlelight off of their entrances. So you pass by the first one of these entrances. If you look into it, you can tell that there's something in the room beyond, or you could keep going and get to whatever the second one of these entrances is.
I think at this point Ellie would go with, what was his name again?
His name is deliberately weird. He said to call himself the Axe Dreamer because that was easier, but he has a high fantasy as fuck name.
Okay, well, I'll go this Axe Dreamer. Is he's kind of leading the group with Baloo?
He's sort of like hanging around Baloo. He's clearly like a warrior type. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
What are we gonna say, Ellie? Ellie.
What?
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask the Axe Dreamer. That's okay. Do you think it's a good idea to go in here? Do you think there's gonna be like a big monster? What do you think's in there?
I think if there are monsters, then it's up to us to kill them, slay them, protect others from the monsters.
But if there's monsters here and we're going into their home, doesn't that mean we're the bad guys?
Well, I don't really think about it like that, but I guess if if it's their home, they're not doing anything, then you might think that, but they're just gonna do something mean and nasty to someone later on. It's a
Do you always
monster.
do you always do mean and nasty things to like people you don't know? Because that's kind of rude, don't you think?
You see gears slowly sort of like, well, I mean, I suppose if you were gonna do mean and nasty things to someone else, then I mean, as long as you did it before they did it to you, then it's wait. And then he
Morality is dawning.
yeah. Do you not fight monsters where you're from?
And then she kind of looks around, kind of confused. Well, no. I guess I'm supposed to be this, or people expect me to be kind of mean sometimes, but I don't know how to be mean, except when somebody hits me, it hurts me first, and then I go into this really weird thing. I don't know what to call it. I just get really angry,
Hmm.
and I
Some
can't help it.
Some people need to get angry to fight.
I guess, but not always, right?
Oh no, I like fighting without getting angry.
Oh,
Spoil
is
that
that
for this Buster.
Is that like your thing? Is that what you like to do? Just get angry? Or
Well, I mean,
fight without getting
everybody needs someone to fight for them. You know, that's just
What
what I
are you
do.
fighting for?
I fight. Like sometimes I fight for villagers or king or for money. Sometimes just for the fun of it, or because they said something I didn't like.
I'm gonna
Wait.
cast silence on this dummy. Sorry.
Wait, are you saying because somebody said something you don't like, you fight them?
All the time, yeah.
But why?
I just maybe it makes me mad, or just don't like it. Don't think they should get away with saying it.
Well, what if you... I mean, it's not like it's important to hit somebody. What if I said you were ugly, or I didn't like your outfit? Are you gonna fight me?
All right. Well, I mean, I wouldn't fight you. I'd only fight you if you like hit me or tried to kill me yourself. I'd fight you then. But I mean, if you just said that to me, I'd probably think you're just trying to be mean, and it's not worth fighting over that.
Okay, well, why would you fight with somebody because of what they said? Like, what would be something that would make you angry? Angry enough to kill them.
He's like really thinking this over. Hey, I suppose if they insulted someone I cared about, or
Should
if
we
they said
re-roll our stealth checks?
yeah.
I love this so much. I like how he's actually thinking about this.
You guys have like Myrrh and I guess maybe Blue or Icky, y'all have all snuck up ahead. Gilbert thing, and there's here is Ellie and
I'm super
Croy.
into this.
Yeah. If someone or if they insulted someone, I guess I always heard that that there was this, and he seems like he's like leans in and seems to forget that he's in this like weird like moist cave in the middle of the desert. He's always told this story about how this goddess would if you fought for her, if you just really gave it all you got, and you had a big heart for her, that when you died, she'd come down and she'd take you to her. I don't know where it is that she lives, but she's got some palace or something. You stay with her for the rest of, I don't know, whatever comes after. But that's always seemed like something I'd fight for that. That seems good.
So you would fight for somebody that you've never met before just to live in a palace?
Well, I mean, like, she's supposed to be really beautiful, and this is a goddess. So yeah.
So as long as that person is beautiful, it's okay?
I mean, I don't know about it okay, but it's just something that I would do.
And then at this, Ellie just seems very confused about this whole conversation. And like, okay, so you like fighting. just to be mean, I guess.
Well, not always to be mean, but sometimes.
But you did say if somebody insulted somebody you liked, but what if that person wasn't insulted? Wouldn't you feel bad about fighting then?
Probably not. I mean, unless, I don't know. Why he's confused me so? And
Yeah. She's also clearly really confused, like,
They
okay.
both walk
Mer's
away.
just smirking, and she's thinking in her head, "Oh, young love."
Oh my god.
So confusing.
And as the conversation sort of like ends with head scratching, he actually leans in to Ellie. He said, they didn't kidnap your, you can leave whenever you want, right?
I'm pretty sure.
They don't. He's like, you're not chained up or anything.
And then she looks down to like make sure she's not chained. Nope, I'm not chained or anything. Is he chained?
No.
Okay.
But
mean,
he thought Ellie was a prisoner of these goblins and bugbears and a demon. So that's why he's asking. So
Oh, does he tell me he thought I was a prisoner?
he hints at it. I think he had mentioned it before. He had when only Gildan could understand what he was saying. He thought that you were a prisoner of them.
Okay.
So this conversation goes on, and at some point, I guess everyone else sort of recognizes y'all are over here sneaking up this tunnel that clearly has some sort of like someone's come in and done something to the place and realized that Ellie and your new companion are hanging in the back. So, those of you who are sneaking up, what do y'all do?
I'm not sneaking at all.
I'm going to follow the other candlelight, not his candlelight, but the other candlelight.
Okay.
So I would.
Are you entering that large room?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Blue enters the room and sees a familiar sight from his youth. A makeshift alchemy lab that has been erected in sort of haste and built up over time. No one to be seen, but you can tell that someone here is in the middle of something, as the instruments are relatively clean and clearly in use at the moment.
Whoa.
And you can tell you're in a large cave. There are two other exits other than the one that you came in.
Neato, he might say.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he probably would. Directed of Mer.
And you were still stealthy? Being
Well,
stealthy?
not anymore. I mean, I am, but I just said
Okay.
Neato. So, yeah. I've made some noise.
Someone there? Well, this is what Blue hears.
Oh.
And
Where
anyone
did I head?
So I assume like everybody was down the same corridor, and maybe Gildan, you were like either going first and would have provided a distraction in that case, or are elsewhere providing a distraction.
Yeah, well, I wanted to light it up and just keep walking towards the candle. Like,
Okay. So then Gildan would be in there first then.
Okay.
Okay. So Blue sort of coming in. Maybe Blue came in from like one of the other entrances or something like that.
Sure.
But you both hear this voice.
Yeah, I'll speak out. It is I, Gildan, son of Bakai, he who is called wise, prophet of the wasteland.
I never heard of you.
Well, you
It's
must
coming
not get
from-
out much.
It's coming from the other. There's a third tunnel sort of entrance exit that no one has been down yet. It's coming from that direction.
Let me take a look at you, and let you take a look at me, that you might become familiar with my glory.
Mhm.
Outstretched.
And
No.
you walk into this sort of shadowy alcove, and there is a lumpy mass of a goblin in front of you, misshapen and more beanbagish than humanoid.
Essentially, this is a real potato goblin, not one that I've put together.
Yes. Like a mashed potato goblin.
And it sort of like looks
It's not
at you.
a dust goblin, is he?
It's not a dust goblin. It looks for all the world like an obese goblin who has had its bones removed.
Aw. What is thy name, friend?
The name's Knitter. And he's sort of like, as he looks at you, you can see that his face is just misshapen. It changes as you're looking at it. It's sort of like melting and forming other mouths and another face that's kind of coming out of it. And really, Gildan is just looking at someone who's in the process of this very slow, weird metamorphosis. And very quickly, it just starts talking gibberish at you.
Okay. So either its mind is melting, or it's
Everyone in the hallway can now hear it.
Okay, so am I able to discern if he is cursed, or is this something he's done? All right, hey, Moundy, give me 2 blinks if you did this to yourself, 1 blink if someone else did. Sorry.
3 of its eyes blink once.
So somebody else did. And give me 1 blink if this was done by magical means. 2 blinks if it was done through a scientific process.
He blinks. He blinks twice. Magic.
Okay. Let's try.
You're kind of seeing some of this while this is going on as well.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I want to do first. I'm. How high is the ceiling in the room we're in?
It varies anywhere from 7 to 10 feet.
Directly above its head.
Directly above its head, we'll call it 6 feet.
All right. So essentially, here's what I'm going to do now. I want to put a point of silence above him, which I actually don't need hands or anything to do. Take a step back, and I'm going to try to dispel magic on him to see if I can stop this. I mean, granted, maybe it was supposed to happen, but I don't like him this way. Next thing you know, he's going to start singing some siren song, and I turn into a goldfish or something.
All right. Let's see here.
I only
don't have.
What's that?
I'm gonna see if. Well, I'm thinking real quick if there's maybe like Gildan isn't like proficient in Arcana or anything like that.
He actually may be proficient in Arcana. Let me double check. No,
Everyone
he's
else will
not.
hear all of this. You can hear Gildan talking to someone. There's gibberish. There's maybe a few words of intelligible speech before it.
No, it's important to do to point this out. Gildan can become proficient in Arcana through the divine blessing of the wise woman. He has blessing of the wise, so I can become proficient in any skill for roughly 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think something like this you wouldn't need that. You know how your magic works. You think that a dispel magic might help this individual if it is a spell that's keeping him this way, but it could easily be like a curse or something else.
Yeah, I also have remove curse in case it doesn't work.
Okay.
I'm gonna use all my splots on ridiculous stuff again, guys. Sorry.
This is why I am here.
All right. So Gildan's cast a silence over this creature here. Is getting ready to cast some other spells. How about everyone else? This is all sort of happening rather quickly.
I would like to kind of like go along the shadows of the edge of the room, Kind of trying to circle around a little bit. Sneaky.
I'll let that earlier roll count for that. So you're trying to sneak further down and past the cave where they're looking at this creature.
So we're in like the room, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I want to like on the other side of them.
Okay. All right.
Like
So
flanking.
Still in the room, but kind of on the other side.
Maybe like position myself near one of the other, because there's 3 entrances, right? Maybe position myself near one of the other ones so I could hear if something else is coming.
Okay. And how about every
I think Baloo would kind of be drawn first to that alchemical set, first and foremost. And can he tell the difference between like a poisoner's, bench and a magician's or sorcerer's, preparatory table?
Yes. Yeah, you know the different types of ingredients and instruments.
I am first in herbalism, if that
Yes. Yeah, this is thoroughly an arcanist's laboratory of some kind. It's mostly stuff for making alchemical ingredients, refining them. But everything here is either made of like really old, like stained and chipped glass, or stone. There's no metal instruments here. And there is a sort of greenish residue over many of the alchemical instruments.
Interesting.
Like a lichen or like
A slime,
green, like oxidation slime?
like a small.
Can Icky and Baloo put their heads together to kind of determine if that's from like something like a natural cause, or
It does not appear
if it's
natural.
anything native? Ew, gross.
Mm-hmm.
I hate this. This feels so like Lovecraftian in nature.
Welcome to my
I
every
hate
Wednesday Call of Cthulhu.
I'm not gonna lie. Like TK loves it. Icky hates it.
Okay. How about Ellie?
No.
Everyone else is in this room. They're talking to someone. By the time that Ellie and Bucroythwaite finish their little conversation, everyone in here talking to someone.
I think as soon as Ellie enters this room or kind of sees this creature, she's going to be very worried about it. And then she won't stealth or anything. I think she'll definitely just be there, I guess.
Walk in here and see this thing.
Yeah. And, are you okay?
It speaks, or you can see its mouths moving, but you can't hear anything. And I guess now, Gildan, your spell will go off.
I can't hear him, and I turn over to X-Man. Can you hear this creature?
I can't hear anything.
Should we help him? What?
I don't hear anything.
Well, this is the kind of stuff that I would fight for. If somebody hurt him or something, then yes, this is a thing. Is this a thing you would fight for? This random person that doesn't look okay?
He kind of looks back there as Gildan's preparing the spell, and it doesn't look like a person at all. It's like a monster.
But would you fight for this monster that looks like it needs help?
Well,
Or would you hurt it? And then I'll try to unintentionally intimidate him
Ooh, okay.
with my eyeballs.
All right.
Plus 6. That's an 8.
All right. He kind of he looks at Ellie and he says something like, I mean, you got that axe right there. You don't just scratch people's backs with that. You gotta hurt people with that thing too.
Well, I know you can't scratch, and I grab it you're back with this. This is sharp. Do you see this? And I put it up to his face a little bit, so he can really see the pink and purple of it.
Right.
It is a cute.
You can appreciate all the enameling and the etching.
Yeah.
You're using a Dispel Magic, Gildan.
Yes.
Spell Magic goes off, and there is there's no sound. It appears as though 3 goblins form out of this one mass, and there is a rending of flesh and a something else going on as they're given form and sort of reshaped from this mass into their constituent parts, and they kind of scramble around and scurry towards the back of the cave.
That's a hold person if I ever, So, yeah, I'm going to attempt to hold person to prevent them from scrambling back.
Okay.
So I believe they have to save and beat a 14.
14. That's a fail. That is a fail. That's 3. That's 3. So the 3 of them are momentarily held by Gildan. It's sort of and you can see they're clearly.
My head's on fire, and I have saved them, and I'm gonna lower the silence, and I say, "My sons, I am Gildan, son of Mackay, he who is called wise, he who has survived the waste. I am your rock and salvation. Allow me to tend to thy wounds, and I want to examine them, and I want to see if they've been wounded at all, or afflicted in any way, shape, or form."
They don't have wounds. I mean, they have a lifetime of malnourishment and living in the wastes. So they have injuries and scars and things like that. But they don't look. They don't bear fresh wounds. They seem scared, utterly scared of Gildan. Who? I need Myrrh to make me a perception test.
Perception check. Okay, of course.
Because I think everybody else is sort of doing other stuff. And
Yeah. Icky now feels like this is way louder than it needs to be. Can Icky now cast Pass Without a Trace? Every creature within 30 feet of me. Y'all, stay within 30 feet forever because this is a problem now.
16.
No, and I'm gonna. Okay.
All right. So, what does Gildan do?
Eat and partake of the mana sent by the goddess, the invincible Medusa. And I'm going to use my final 3rd level spell slot to create food and water. And I'm going to prepare a beautiful feast for them. And I'm going to prepare the animals that I've seen in my dreams. I want these to be like glazed geese. A creature unlike any that maybe they've ever had. And I want to summon these avian creatures prepared for a royal feast and invite them to sit and eat and hear of the glory of that which is their creation myth, which I shall spin on the fly.
Which Gildan will.
That needs to be a feat. Tomfoolery.
Blather. There is. There is a their fear softens once food comes out and you guys don't attack them and the like. Their Icky's spell descends upon the group and sort of softens everyone's footsteps and lowers people's voices to whispers and dims the lights ever so gently, but you can hear the scraping of metal on stone coming from behind you, where you would have come from.
Oh, like from the entrance?
Yes.
Oh, I'll signal to the group very quietly. Something is coming. Metal on stone. Interesting. It's coming from behind us.
I'll hide.
I'll prepare. I'll pull out my wonderful, beautiful sitar and prepare to have an arrow knocked at the ready just in case.
Okay.
Just in case it looks real violent.
All right. So Myr's sort of on the lookout with her weapon at the ready. How about everyone else?
I'm gonna hide in the room because could be trouble.
Blue's hiding in the room.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I got a 25 with pass without trace. That's plus 10, right?
Yes.
It's flat plus 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you can't be discovered or tracked unless by magical means. Sorry.
Correct. And okay, so Blue, you're sort of hiding in the room, and you rolled your stealth there. How about Ellie?
Can I kind of quickly whisper to them, like, is this? Sorry, is this?
Aw, Ellie's baby.
I know, right?
Oh, so soon.
So soon. No.
Blue, did you put that bun in that oven?
You better not
Oh.
have.
This is weird.
Not yet. She's still VP'er.
Yeah.
Like her
I
uncle.
whispered to them, "Hey, is a thing coming? Is that a good person? A bad person?
I do not know.
Thing? Creature?"
You're whispering to the.
To the small goblins.
Mhm. Yeah, they seem like once they sort of like everybody kind of like stops for a second, and Myr's like, "Oh, listen," the three of them are back to being sort of like scared. They stop eating and are looking towards the door and are just sort of like, "Danger, we will hide." Is sort of what they're saying.
Okay, sure. And then Ellie will probably pull X-Man. That's what I'm gonna call him now.
Mhm.
Just kind of grab his hand, and then I'm gonna be like, "We need to hide here," and she'll point. Well, I don't know. Maybe helping picture this a little bit. So
Yeah.
entrance, and then can we hide here and here?
So there is a sort of a cave, and along, let's say the left side of it, there's that tunnel that you were traveling up. Further
Okay.
into the cave, there's this sort of alcove where these goblins are. So there's plenty of places to hide in here. There's tables. There's this large sort of like maybe boiler of some kind. Lots of equipment that's in here, as well as like
Okay.
rock features. Yeah.
So would we be able to bamboozle if like the person or thing would enter it? We would be hiding here, so he wouldn't see us.
Optimal bamboozle. if you
Yeah.
ask me.
Yeah.
We
I get
can-
what you're saying.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
as the enter the room, like its back is to you.
I have another distraction, and this is going to be a crazy gambit. Myr, stab me.
Oy.
Do it,
Just go ahead and do it, Myr.
please.
If you insist,
I
As far
do.
as you can.
Hard.
then all right. Myr will, after gaining consent,
Mm-hmm.
will stab Gildan.
And then with my last breath before I do this, I look to the group and I say, hide, then cast feign death on myself and drop in a bloody heap, and we'll let this guy deal with my pseudo-dead body.
All right, I like it. All right, so we've
Yeah.
got
I'm out, guys.
we've got Ellie and Axeman hiding. Lou was hiding as well. Icky was what was Icky up to?
Icky is hiding, but before she hides, she'll let Skitter step out of the bag and tell him to hide on the ceiling and hold his action for if the person attacks them, and to drop from the ceiling like after that.
That would be terrifying.
So, yeah,
It's
it
like a
would.
5-foot-long centipede dropping from the ceiling on you.
Right.
Hell yes.
Oof.
So
You think I don't dream of this every night?
Right. Myr, you see the footsteps, the creature making the footsteps first, and it is a sort of backlit against the fading light from the tunnel entrance. A creature that's humanoid in shape and clearly wearing some sort of large metal armor.
Mm-hmm.
But the head of it is definitely skeletal and kind of lolls back and forth as it slides its armored boots along the tunnel floor in a very fluid motion.
Is it leaving some kind of like a snail trail behind it?
Its armor is glistening with a sort of greenish, coppery liquid.
Okay. That's great.
And you can see it. It's about 40 feet away. Does not appear to have seen you, but it is approaching the first of those entrances into the room with the alchemy lab.
Okay. Yeah, I'll hide. I want to have my sitar ready, and I want to see what it does with dead Gildan.
It's
This is our chance, guys.
right. It enters the doorway, and those of you, I guess everyone other than Ellie and Porthwick can sort of see it, and it is a humanoid figure in ornate bronze, maybe copper, some sort of metal in that family, armor that's corroded with the sort of, was it verdigris kind of corrosion on it, and something leaking out of the joints that appears viscous and slightly greenish. And its skeletal head, difficult to tell if it's orc or maybe half orc, just stares straight ahead. And it stands in the entrance to the cave and seemingly perceives Gildan before sliding its feet across the floor in a very fluid and smooth motion. It's approaching Gildan, and it looks like it's going to bend down and either inspect or maybe try to pick him up.
Okay. I want to watch. I'll see what happens.
All right. It is entered the room. It does not seem as if it's noticed any of the rest of you. And it is
Because if it scoops up Gildan, I'm gonna follow it. See where it takes him.
okay. And so its back is towards Ellie, and it indeed bends down and picks up Gildan and goes to carry him rather unceremoniously out of the room towards the second entrance.
Yeah, I want to follow. Like a safe distance behind.
Okay. So if you're going to try to follow, I need another stealth check. Gildan, how long does that feign death last?
It's like an hour.
1 hour.
Oh, yeah. How about everybody else?
Oh, that's really good.
I look over to X-Men and be like, should we follow? Should we follow or should we just stay here?
Should follow.
23.
23 for Merv.
It's the X-Men, New Orleans. Blue's gonna follow. He's trying to figure out what that thing is. Yeah, I got a 29 stealth.
29 stealth. All right. So Baloo and Merg ghost after this guy. How about for Ellie?
I got a 13, but was the pass without a trace for everybody?
I believe so, as long as you're within the radius.
Everybody
and
who
it's
was in
close to-
30 feet of Icky. Oh, dang, Icky's gotta go.
I mean, mine was a 23 without pass without a trace. It'd be a 33 with pass without a trace.
Yeah.
So if you want
guys
me
are-
to sneak,
The thing is that, yeah, she thinks that you guys are pretty capable, but if the humans go, then Icky will go too.
Okay.
No offense, humans.
None taken.
They're soft and
You're just so soft.
they're so
So
squishy.
small.
My
Yeah.
children.
I got a
Probably good
23
leather. Mhm.
then first stealthus, yeah, that's me.
All right. Okay.
Stealthus.
With pass without trace, the rest of you follow. I don't know how far behind this creature do you follow?
Well,
You'll really be walking on his heels, probably not. So
Myrrh would want to be probably about 30 feet.
okay.
She could 25, 30 feet.
Back a bit. All right.
Enough that she can move up in one round if she needed to.
Gotcha.
Probably
Gotcha.
the same.
Okay. So you follow after this thing, and it goes down this. It goes back out into the tunnel and continues on into a section of the tunnel that you hadn't gotten to yet. And it dips down in sort of another sharp drop in the tunnel, and there's another slimy sort of pool or something that runs along the length of the tunnel here.
Does it look like the same kind of slime that the guy is leaving the trail?
It looks like a different color, but the same sort of
consistency. Okay.
And so you have now approached the slope, and we'll have to get down into it to follow this creature that has gilded. Does everyone get down into the slimy tunnel?
Yeah.
Doesn't smell acidic, does it?
It does not, but there is it's difficult to
I'll dip a piece of fabric in first to make sure it doesn't like dissolve.
I get you. It does not dissolve fabric or the like. Is anyone barefoot, or is anyone?
I mean, Blue's barefoot all the time.
Yeah,
Okay,
Icky's always barefoot.
Okay.
Is X-Man barefoot?
He is now. Yeah, he would prefer to have
Okay.
sandals or boots, but yeah.
Well, we haven't been to a place where you can fix him up with those yet.
Can I send Skitter step ahead of us a little bit? I mean, he's wandering on the ceiling, so hopefully it won't be too...
Sure.
And I'm gonna prestidigitate clean after him on the other side, because that's fairly quiet.
So Mer gets down in here. Everyone else is sort of like figuring out how to.
Oh yeah, I'm in the front.
Get in, and you're actually realize that you're in a long cavern that is littered with mounds of bones that rise up out of this goopy mess. It appears as though there's several other exits out of here. The walls are covered in molds and sort of sprouting fungi. The air here is like thick with moisture. And it appears as though the creature that is gilded was walking across this pool down to the furthest exit out of here.
All right, I will follow behind it.
Okay.
But I take notes and I make sure that I know what direction we came from.
So for everyone else, we've got Skitter Step on the ceiling. Mur is going. They're keeping pace with Gildan and Gildan's sort of captor. How about the rest of y'all?
Yeah, I don't know. Follow close behind. I'm worried that he's just going to get to the end of this hall and just throw him in the goo to slowly dissolve.
That's a possibility. Yeah, that's a possibility. So Balloon goes to catch up. Everyone else then I guess is sort of behind Mur.
Yeah, Icky will be in the center so that the stealth radiates.
Gotcha.
I was going to say, it is a possibility, but remember, you've all had sights on him, could take advantage of a surprise round, and get him before he ever did that, and interrogate him. But
I mean, we could have.
I know! That's the best part. It's like, we could have, if we wanted to.
Like, McCoy thinks there's where he's got his warhammer in hand.
Yeah, I really thought about it when you were feigned death. I was like, oh, man. The opportunity is here.
Blue would feel really bad.
Icky was like, nah.
Is Axeman's feet like burning or anything?
They look red, like irritated.
Yeah.
But even those of you that aren't wearing boots or anything like that, it's not. You could tell if you spent a long time in here that you would, you'd suffer some sort of ill effect. But just walking through it quickly,
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's irritating. His skin's been encased in stone for centuries. It's baby soft and
Oh my god.
almost unspoiled.
So unspoiled.
Right.
I think Ellie would ask, "Are your feet okay? Do you need me to carry you?"
No, I'll be okay. And he's like, the other guy's like 50 feet across the room. He's about to exit the cavern. Everybody's sort of stealthing after him. Out of this room, the tunnel slopes back up, and you are in drier sort of tunnels. But the air here has gotten even more oppressive and noxious, and is now like actively difficult to breathe and to keep your to keep from coughing and things like that. Everyone's gonna have to make me a Constitution save.
What about my preventative scarf?
I'll give Myrrh anyone who's covered their mouths an advantage on this save here.
I did that way back.
You did.
Is this a poison?
This is not necessarily a poison effect. It's just don't breathe in too much of this weird
Natural 20, so 21.
Okay.
I think it's 17.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna do it, but if I fail, Icky's gonna hold their breath.
Okay. You can hold your breath.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank
That's what you want to do.
God.
You can.
Yeah, for 15 minutes. No,
Yeah,
Icky got it.
pretty
I
cool.
rolled a 19, so yeah, it's awesome.
Okay.
I rolled a 19, so a 21. I shouldn't have said that. Don't let me do that. Don't allow that.
You pass into yet another chamber here. This one, the floor of it is smooth and I don't know, like has the visual texture of like wax, and the room itself is irregularly shaped. But as you're entering in at the southern edge, you can see that there is a large pool of slowly gurgling and bubbling viscous liquid. It is pale green and yellow in color and seems to like cling to the walls, sort of drip down into this pool. And Mr. Man is making a beeline towards it, Gildan on his shoulder,
I mean, if we're gonna,
about 40 feet away from it.
should probably stop.
Is there another exit to this room? Did we see that?
Mhm.
Okay.
There are other
Make sure
exits.
I heard right.
Should probably stop him. Any
When
problem?
he's making this beeline, does it seem like he's going to walk through it, or he's going to deposit Gildan? Like, is there any body
Like, is he
language?
like unhoisting Gildan, or is he still just?
Yeah.
Yeah, about 30 feet away, starts to put the hands on Gildan's sort of torso.
Skitter step, go! Drop down like Batman.
Okay. Skitter Step's going to go and drop down.
If I see Skitter step moving, I'll pull up my.
Yeah, because he's been holding his actions. So
That's true. Let's see. Skitter Step's doing that. Merv's spring into action. How about
Yep.
Ellie and Baloo?
I'm ready to fire. Surprise! I get
So-
it could be a spot. Gildan could be fine. But
It's yeah. I thought about it too.
do any of these bones around here look fine?
maybe there's a skeleton spot.
Oh,
There were no cucumber slices on
There
that
was no
that
cucumber slices.
alchemist.
I'm just saying, today's tiny servant will defend me if no one else does. Geppetto, the wooden puppet, as he comes walking
Yeah.
up.
Oh.
Please, we have to save him so that whatever horrible thing he's conjuring doesn't come out.
Uh-huh.
What if he dies? Oh, dang it.
What's that?
I'm actually going to is it okay if I throw out a spell? Like, I look like I'm about to. Does anybody wait for me, or
I
take out my?
I'd like to think we're all acting at the same time.
Yeah.
We're all like surprising him at the same time.
Yeah,
That's
you
fine.
guys have like blown well past his passive perception. He doesn't have it
Yeah.
clue that you're
I
there.
just want to get my really good.
Let's go ahead and roll initiative here as everybody sort of like moves into precision to strike. We'll say that Skitter Step will go first as he sort of like drops down and attacks, and then we'll see initiative after that. I got a 6 for myself. Surely someone can beat that.
Well,
Icky got an 11.
Got a 14.
I got an 11 as well.
11. So I guess who's got the better deck?
I have 16 decks.
16 decks, and then Icky's.
Icky's dexterity is, oh my gosh, 15.
15. Okay. And then how about Gildan's initiative?
I cannot make an ability check
Gildan
since
is
I'm
muted.
Muted.
I can't make an ability check if I'm
Oh, that's
incapacitated.
correct.
So
How
it
does
would be
if you
a
cast it
one.
on yourself? How do you get out of a feigned death?
I don't. I'm down for an hour. Someone could dispel magic.
Because if it was like someone else and you cast it on it, you could end the effect.
Yes.
But if it's yourself,
He's out
No.
for we have an hour of silence, people.
We'll just shove him
We
in my
should use it
pack.
wisely.
My little
Upside down
papoose
is-
goblin.
His little goblin
Oh,
legs
don't worry, I
sticking
have
out.
a bag too. Let's put him in there. Bag
Right.
of holding.
so
Can't
initiative
fit
order,
in a pack.
I'm not breathing.
initiative order will be Skitterstep, Baloo, Ellie, Mur, Icky, and then myself. After this first round, Skitterstep will go on Icky's initiative. So if you want to go ahead and roll for Skitterstep here as he leaps into action, save his boon companion, Gildan.
I hate it. Does he get anything for a surprise or?
Advantage.
Yes.
Ooh, do we all
That's
get
the
advantage?
Oh man, that's a good thing because the first one was okay. Good. Whew. Because the first one was like a 1 and the second one was a 19. I was like, thank you.
There you go.
So with a 19, he gets a 24.
That hits.
And he does 1d6 plus 2. So boop. Cool. So he does 3 damage. But wait, I guess Skitterstep has no idea whether or not this thing is alive, so I don't know. So whether you want to roll a Constitution saving throw or not.
Skitterstep would know it's not because Skitterstep does not smell any meat.
Okay, that's fine. Then he's not even gonna bother. He's just gonna like savage it with his tiny
Okay.
his
His adorable little
it's
claws.
like a medium-sized centipede.
Yeah. He'll just latch on.
Okay. And it's so it attacks the creature here. Okay. That makes it Baloo's turn. Skitterstep is attacked. Baloo, you were in the middle of casting a spell.
Yes. This might get a little messy. So Skitterstep's jumped on this thing's head. I'm gonna cast Tidal Wave and try to just like flush this shit out of here, including him. So
Okay.
he needs to make a dex save as just water comes out of nowhere and pushes into him.
What direction are you pushing them?
We're gonna say like he's been hit by a car. Let's say sideways.
Sideways? Okay.
That's-
So like off.
Sideways from where we're going.
Okay.
That way we don't wash the two of them into the pool.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I rolled like a 5 for my
Okay.
deck save.
You are knocked prone, and then I will do damage. It's a bludgeoning damage.
All right.
Yeah, 21.
21. Your summoned tidal wave slams into this figure, and you can see it crash to the ground. Its skull head cracks against the stone floor, and Gildan sort of like goes falling out of his arms because you're sort of carrying him on the shoulder. Skitterstep sort of spins away some distance, and your tidal wave crashing to the ground. How much damage does it get?
21.
21.
21 bludgeoning damage.
There we go. That's Blue's
I
turn.
take half.
You take half.
Yeah, I'm currently resistant to all forms of damage except psychic.
Okay. Awesome. Ellie.
Ellie will run towards this thing, just full speed, and if she has any speed left once she gets to it, she's just gonna look at him and try to intimidate him with barbarian eyeballs. Ooh. And Tolina did not drop water. And so that's an unnatural 20. And just be like, leave my friend alone.
Ellie's not even sure when you get up there that this thing's even alive or like a person. Like it's a shape of a person, but as you run up, you see that it's its skeleton head is all cracked up. It's not even like trying to move it around, and it's leaking something out of every seam and joint in its armor, including out of its like the neck hole.
Yeah.
Where its head and neck would be. There's this sort of viscous, slimy liquid that's leaking out of that.
All right. And then she's just gonna be like, "Oh, is that a no?"
You can smash him if you want to.
And because it has Gildan, she's gonna be very intimidated by the way that this undead maybe thing looks, and she's just gonna be like, "You heard me. Leave my friend alone." And she's gonna go into a rage, which she hasn't done before. First, a long time.
Oh.
And I know. It's so crazy. She is growing up, and she's going to. Does a 14 hit?
You have advantage because he's prone.
You're right.
But 14 would otherwise miss.
Okay,
Prone is
does a
the best.
26
Yes, that hits.
hit this thing? Okay, perfect. So with my great axe, it's not very good, but 9 damage.
9 damage. All right.
We have another attack, right?
Yes.
Heck yes. Do I still have advantage? Oh, it doesn't matter. That's a 20.
Sweet.
Unnatural, but it's still fine. Okay. So that's 11 damage extra.
All right. So Ellie comes over and attacks the figure that has dropped Gildan lying on the ground. It's about 20 feet or so away from the edge of this ooze pool. Myr, it is your turn.
Does it look like it's still moving?
It's still moving, but every time it would try to get up, Ellie would smash it again.
So it looks really bad. Or just feels kind of bad.
It looks battered, but it's it's an ooze-filled suit of old.
Well,
armor.
I don't want to know what it can do, so I'm going to use psychic blades.
Okay.
If I hit with this thing, so
Gotcha.
natural 20.
Oh.
It's gonna be a shit ton of damage.
This isn't it, shit.
Yeah.
Let me find all these d6s.
All right.
What I need. All right, it's gonna be 6d6 from psychic blades.
Myr's
And then
anima
2d6.
banner flares.
Like, do I even have to do anything on my?
Maybe I
This is
don't.
like- This is great.
I'm using little dice because they're cute.
Tiny dice.
I love tiny dice.
Oh, they rolled really well too.
Nice.
That's
Yes.
10. 20.
I will be impressed.
This is my favorite.
He doesn't need to do anything.
25.
I might just not do anything just in general, even if he's still alive.
32.
Actually, if he's still prone, it's
plus 35 points of mostly psychic. The rest of it would have been so I guess let's say that these 3 plus 7 points of it was piercing. All the rest was psychic.
7 points. All right. Yeah. So Myr, you're
Pull back on my sitar and just do a little whisper.
Excellent form.
Yeah, it sort of like hits the prone figure there, and it sort of almost like flips it over so that it was on its it was on like its stomach and it's on its back, and its armor's all dented and battered up from where it's been hit.
heck yeah.
Did Myr do anything else?
No, that's my action. Oh, it's not even a bonus action to use psychic blades. Yeah, I'm good. I don't think we'll really need anything else.
Okay.
Okay.
And then
my work here is done.
yes.
Yeah.
You can
Like a rogue.
God. Your shoulders hurt from carrying us all through this. Oh my gosh. Dead in one round. Yeah, so first of all, Icky's gonna use a free action to like look over Murr's shoulder like as the arrow goes and like makes eye contact with Axe Dreamer. Like, yeah, you see that shit. And then is this thing still prone or is it up?
It's trying to like sit up.
I just
but
blew
it's
it a kiss after I released the arrow.
How close is it
Nice.
to the pool?
about 20 feet away from the pool.
Does Icky get any indication that like this thing would probably be fine if it fell in the pool?
Probably would be fine if it fell in the pool.
Ugh,
Yeah.
Icky hates that. In that case, since Icky's not like obviously there's no point in Pass Without a Trace anymore, Icky's gonna cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
Which bonus action. And then she's going to take her short bow and shoot it twice.
All right.
Yeah. And then next round, Skitter Step attacks on her turn.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure. So she gonna shoot. She gonna go pew pew boop. All right.
Boop.
So plus the short bow. So 21 for the first.
One hits.
Okay. It's an extra. Is it an extra D6 for? Oh God, I never use this. I never get to use a short bow.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm trying to like scroll down. I'm so sorry.
No.
Yes,
I got it.
extra D6. So 1d6 plus 2 for regular arrow. Boop. Okay. So and then a second D6. Okay. So it's going to be 8 for that first damage. It's not very impressive.
Not
It's a
actually.
second. Her second shot. A 20.
28.
Unnatural. Boop. So that is 5 plus 10 for that second one.
10 for the second one. All right.
Yep.
So guys, launch your ambush against this creature, and it's sort of like battered around, and Ellie's all up in its face. It's been knocked over by the tidal wave and shot up a couple times, and it's sort of like trying to get up. And as it does, you can tell that there's whatever skeleton is in this suit of armor is just like flopping around as its head kind of like lolls back, even as it reaches out towards Ellie to attack it with its oozy magic. And I need it's Ellie and Skitter Step that are in melee with it right now. And I need both Ellie and Skitter Step to make me DC 13 dexterity saves as it kind of like takes its left arm and waves it up, and the pool of ooze behind it rushes out and sort of like tries to grab at Ellie and Skitter Step.
I got her
Oh.
16.
Ellie's good.
Oh my gosh, that was so scary. Skitter Step got a 13.
Okay.
Not my boy.
Well, you succeeded if it was DC 13.
Yeah, you succeeded.
Oh, did he succeed? I thought attacker. I don't know why I thought that attacker.
If you match,
Matt,
if it's
equal
a
to
match. Doesn't matter attack or defense. If it's a DC or an AC, if it matches, it's either succeeds or it hits. So
But I
Oh.
think that. All right. Well, let's see what's going to happen. Here we go. So both of you guys passed. So you're going to take half of this. The total damage was 18 acid. So you're going to take half of that as this acidic wave of ooze washes over the two of you, and this creature sort of like, like lashes its arm out. The ooze sort of follows the arm movement, and then it tries to stand up from where it is. It's having some trouble standing up. That is it for what's up.
I take half of the half because rage, right?
Oh,
Or no?
are you
No.
totem?
This is acid, not
Oh,
piercing, bludgeoning, or
that's true. Just kidding.
Yeah, she's a frenzy.
right. And I also need Ooh. Ooh, I need Icky to make me a wisdom save.
I don't deserve this. Oh no.
It was same DC.
Oh, I have +2 wisdom. It's still not going to be great, but it's a 12.
So you're over there. You're firing your bow. That you see this this lash of ooze come up and out, and there is a thought in your I would say your lizard brain, but just your brain that that like one of just come closer, and you feel compelled to use your movement to get closer to the pool. You are charmed by the ooze and can make saving throws at the end of it, and on your turn have to use your action to get closer to the ooze.
I'm concerned. I'm real stressed out right now.
By the way, if a couple of us die, this is totally on me.
Yes,
That's true.
I'm okay with
Although, I think this might be the lair of the bone sorcerer. We've seen a lot of bones and melted people.
That's what I'm saying. I think,
we have
I think my
seen
intuition
much
was-
bones and sorcery.
That's very true.
Mhm.
That's it for my turn. Becortha has rushed forward in support of Ellie and is attacking the creature. Missed with his first attack, hit with second. That's a warhammer.
Oh, 2 attacks.
So
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I know how to order them.
You got yourself a really good human.
And hits there. That makes it top the initiative with Baloo.
Okay.
It's that heist order statue service.
Like some kind of weird Russian catalog. Okay.
It's a Transylvanian cattle.
Right. I think. Do I want to engage with this thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to hop on over towards him and produce a purple flame blade and take some swipe at him.
Okay.
Does 17 hit?
17 hits.
17 hits. Why? I use this spell all the time. How did I forget?
4d6 or something like that. 3d6.
Yeah, it's either 4 or 3. That's what I'm looking. But anyway, he hit.
Okay.
And if he has it, obviously, just a reminder, if he has any resistances, they don't apply.
They don't apply. All right.
Yeah.
Blue's special training in fire. Goes to 4. I'm pretty sure it's 3d6 though.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, you can go ahead and go. I'll give you the number.
Okay.
Unless this is going to do it again.
Right. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, no, 7.
So,
Not
still
great.
up, and sort of like on it's trying to rise up. It's sort of like on one knee, and it's got 1 foot underneath it. Baloo and Ellie and Freudwig are all in melee with it. And Ellie, it is your turn.
All right. So she's gonna go and take
Very
another
battered.
swipey swipe.
Swipe it
Yeah.
up.
Mhm.
I'm gonna swipe left. And why am I like this?
The internet.
Okay, that's
The
the
internet.
internet. So I got a nat 20
Oh,
to hit.
Oh, yep.
Look
That's
at
the
us
one you want.
go!
So that's 20 damage. And then.
Okay.
Done.
Oh, that's a 19. Okay, so plus whatever I think it hits, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so that's another 13 to hit. So Ellie's just basically swiping like towards his like leg, his side, like maybe his chest a little bit if she can reach.
Chop him up.
Just
You said
choppity
that was
chop.
13 damage for the second attack.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
and it is looking severely battered. Ellie's hit it twice now. The first one has they're just like tore a big hole in its ancient armor, and out of it just gushes this viscous, oozy fluid. Your second attack has got it spinning and left it reeling, and Ellie is in a position to finish it off if you have another attack. Do you? I think you do.
Well, actually, I don't think I ever mentioned. I mean, I don't think why would. Yes. I did have reckless. Oh no, frenzy.
The frenzy attack.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's. I think it might be too late to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were freezing already.
No, I just
Okay.
didn't know. I didn't mention it.
So in that case, Ellie has just absolutely battered this thing, and Myrrh, you can see that it is on its last legs as it comes up to Myrrh's turn.
Okay. I'm going to get within 30 feet of it. And like 25 feet. I'm going to try to shoot it again.
All right.
Because I ain't getting melee. Oh, that is going to be... That is not fantastic. That is a 14?
14 misses.
I missed then.
14 misses. That was a move.
And I would like to, because I know Icky is going to fire after me. I would like to inspire Icky with a bardic inspiration as my bonus action. I'm like, Icky, we cannot let it hurt Ellie again. Please finish it off.
Nikki, return.
Icky's having a hard time. How far from this pool is Icky?
So you say you're in the middle. I think like
Yeah.
you were at least, you were no closer than 40 feet.
Icky's movement is 40 feet
Uh-huh.
because she has mobile.
Oh, yes. Okay. Uh-huh.
So Icky, what's going through Icky's mind right now is this creature, she already has determined last round that this creature will only emerge stronger from this pool. It is incredibly logical in her lizard brain right now to believe that she also would emerge stronger from this pool. And she strafes with her short bow ever closer to this pool. Is the inside of the pool 40 feet from Icky, or is the edge of the pool 40?
Edge
Oh,
of
well,
the
so
pool.
you'll only be at the edge.
You're right. Icky moves like right up to the edge.
And you can make
Yeah.
that wisdom saving throw
Yeah.
again.
Can make
She
And you have
moves
bardic
up and she's
inspiration.
like kind of leaning a little.
that.
And I would love to make that wisdom speech. Bardic inspiration is plus D4, right?
It's a D8.
A D8.
Yeah, little
Heck
times,
yeah.
D8.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna need it. This is a problem.
What you got?
I rolled a 3.
I wouldn't.
And then
I
I
don't
rolled.
think- You rolled a 3. The highest you can get is 11. I don't think you should
Yeah.
use the bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You might want to say that on a for a con save, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, yeah. Or a death save.
Yeah.
Can't-
Okay.
Probably can't use that on a death save. But yeah, Icky's just like, man, this pool is real pretty.
Yeah. Still in the
This
grip
is
of.
nice. Can Icky attack, or is she just done?
That's it. The only thing you can do is
Okay.
move your action to move.
That's fine then.
You feel like
She's
in a
just going to focus. Yeah, she's gonna focus all of her attention on this pool.
Okay. All right. And everyone can see this is happening. Icky completely just like bow sort of slack at her side,
Oh dear.
zombie walking towards the ooze.
Skitter Step, on the other hand, is not charmed,
Correct. Skitter step
so he
is,
can attack,
yes.
right? Is he also going to roll a 3? Don't screw this up for me, Skitter Step.
Come on, Skitter step. No.
A 19.
I think he hits.
He rolled a 14, so he gets a +5. Okay, I forgot what, because everybody was rolling like 20 somethings, and I was like, oh god, oh
She's
jeez.
rolling well.
Yeah, so he's gonna do. I'm gonna do his average, which is 4. 4 piercing damage. It's not a lot, but it's more than Icky did, and really, I think that's the best you can hope for out of this team right now.
It is enough in this case, as sort of like Ellie has battered this thing. It's almost like collapsing over. Skitterstep
Yes.
wraps it up, and
Yes.
yeah.
Skitterstep senses Icky's pheromones have changed from this charm spell, and he like comes in clutch and like crunches around its ankles and just like knocks it over.
Can I use
like,
my
"No."
reaction to capture this thing's shadow?
That sounds so cool.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I like that. It's very
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Um,
Just suck it in straight into the sitar. Just ring. Sucked right in.
What the hell?
Here.
It's not the first time. I
Right.
did it to a servitor too. It's fine.
That's right. So it is my turn now, and here's what we got. I need Icky to make me a dexterity save. As this thing, as a pseudopod extends itself
No.
the ooze pool and attempts to draw Icky into its slimy depths.
Okay, let me okay, I'm gonna roll it.
All right. What you got?
Let me screenshot this
All right.
for me. Okay. It's a nat 20.
That's perfect.
Icky's voice sucked into the ooze pool.
I'm so excited. I'm gonna put this in our chat. I'm gonna just copy paste that right in there.
Keep it safe. And
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna cry like right now.
You're about to dunk.
Oh, no. My baby.
lives one more round. What else can I do here? All right. So that's for
Don't look at me.
all right. And then I need in that case I just Baloo, I need you to actually I don't need you to do anything. I need you to tell me what your AC is.
I mean, let's be honest. His AC is 13. It says 15, but I've never mentioned a shield once.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. That was that's.
I've never mentioned a shield.
Gotcha.
He doesn't have a shield.
This thing starts to lash out. A pseudopod attempts to grab Icky and pull it in. There's bubbling, sort of just gross little bubbles. One of them bursts and shoots a jet of some sort of ooze at Baloo, and I hit with a 21 for this is going to be 11 points of acid damage on Baloo.
And I did not take absorb elements.
Into my turn, top of the initiative, Baloo's turn. We've got Gildan feigned death about 30 feet from the edge of the pool, lying down. We've got Icky at the edge of the ooze, still charmed by it, and everyone else seemingly within striking distance of this thing. Whose turn?
So there's a presence, like a physical presence in the pool that's trying to pull Icky into it.
You can sort of feel it at the back of your mind. It's definitely there's definitely a presence in the pool.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna go over there and try to like physically restrain Icky.
Okay. You can. She's like 10 feet away from you.
Okay. Do I want to do that as an action, or am I just going to stand from her? She's go around.
Try to like. There's no resistance there. You could just.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to try to pull her back from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to make a check or anything.
No, I do get an attack on you as you move out of its threatened area. But Icky's just standing there. There's no resistance. You just can walk over, grab, and walk away. But I do hit Baloo as you're trying to leave. pseudopod lashes out. That's going to be 9 bludgeoning and 4 acid on Blue. But you are away from the water, away from the ooze edge with Icky. That's your turn.
Yes.
Ellie, it's your turn.
And how far is this thing from me?
This is like a massive pool of ooze. As far as you know, it's like splashed something out a couple of times, and you're sort of covered in some of it, which was that acid damage. But it's not like a creature or anything. It's more like the slime from Ghostbusters 2. It's just sort of a mass of forming pseudopods and jets of itself and attacking you.
Weird. Okay, well, I mean, if she could hit this flubber-looking thing, she's gonna attempt to.
I like the flubber reference.
You rush over to the edge to just chop your axe in the pool, or do you wait for it to get close?
I would probably just chuck my axe into the pool because rage requires. There's a little going on there. So, okay, that's a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay.
It's got like an AC of 8. It's a big pool of ooze.
Okay, so that's gonna be a 13 damage.
Okay.
If it could take damage. If Ellie wasn't raging, she'd be so confused right now.
Yeah.
That is
Ironic how that works.
Yeah. That's a nat 20.
All right.
Whoa.
11. Okay. 22 points of damage.
Nice.
Yeah. Hitting.
All right. Ellie valiantly rushes over and starts slamming your axe down into this.
I bet that looks really funny.
It's like on the shore of this thing. Baloo's got Icky. Gildan is sort of in the middle of the room, still feigned. It's Mur's turn. We're still sort of in combat, but this creature, not even a creature, this thing is it can't leave its pool. So Mur, it's your turn.
All right. So I saw like a pseudopod come up out of there. We don't think it can leave its pool.
Sure. You haven't seen it leave its pool yet.
But I would love to find out if that is actually the case. So I'm going to whisper some sweet, sweet nothings to it. Cast Dissonant Whispers, and I need it to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Let's see. I got a 14.
That fails.
Ooh.
So he's going to take 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from me. So let me roll these 3d6 here.
Yeah, go and give me damage.
Okay, that's actually really good. 11. That's 16 points of psychic damage.
So, where you lash out at this thing, and there's the shoreline of it sort of retreats 5 or 6 feet or so, leaving like a slimy trail of it, but it doesn't it's not like
leave the pool. Well, that was an excellent experiment then. Now I know. It really can't leave the pool. I tell him, it cannot leave the confines of its pool. Please move as far away as you can from it. I doubt you are the bone sorcerer. So you seem to be able to coerce Icky. Icky, darling, we have to get you something against this coercion of your mind, I swear. This is not the first time.
It's Icky's turn. You're technically being grappled by Baloo.
Yeah, it will 100% not be the last time either. Icky is not a strong-willed being. her brain isn't exactly the strongest thing about her, which is funny because she has a +2 to wisdom, so you would think, but nope.
No.
Do I make that wisdom saving at the end of my turn?
Yes, it's the end of your turn.
I know I'm being grappled. So would that mean that I need to make a strength check against being grappled to try and move towards the pool?
No, it really is like you're not like struggling. So maybe like Iggy's trying to walk, but Baloo's just like
okay.
Pick you up a little bit.
Okay, so
yeah.
she moves like 10 feet towards the
Like
pool and then makes like a.
Don't
It's
touch
probably
that.
a good thing it was
Don't touch that.
blue. Yeah, because he's like the biggest one. Okay,
Yeah.
then if it's okay, I'll go ahead and make that wisdom saving throw if that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold on to the bardic inspiration though, just in case.
You can roll it. You can decide to roll it after you make your roll.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so I got a 17.
Oh, that's
15 plus 2.
Yeah. Yeah, you shake it off.
I did it.
And
I did it, guys.
Iggy comes to.
Great. Don't do it again.
Ellie is still at the ooze's edge, attacking this thing though, and is therefore within its its reach. And I need Ellie to make me a dexterity saving throw as a wave of it sort of like retreats from Murr's psychic attack and it comes back and is trying to engulf Ellie in a wave of slime.
A dex save, you said?
Dexterity save DC 13.
Ooh,
Is this something she gets advantage on because of her danger sense?
I would say, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's 11.
Ooh, what's with advantage? 11 with advantage?
Yeah.
All right.
I rolled
Ellie disappears into the pool. And you're going to take some acid damage. I'll roll that here in a second. You are restrained as you're sort of in this thing and cannot breathe as it's got you submerged. So it rises up in a tidal wave, slams over Ellie, and like you see her get engulfed in sort of like slime and ooze and slip and fall into the pool.
It wouldn't be like a grapple, right?
Not a grapple in this case, no. But you can. Let me look up. I'll look something up. You have options.
Okay.
Let me just find them. And it's going to be 9 acid damage right now.
Okay.
My turn. Blue, it's yours.
Okay. I'm going to need it to make a wisdom saving throw as I attempt to polymorph it.
Okay.
I don't. It says I can target any creature. I was like, can you polymorph an ooze?
Yeah, you can.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can.
What are you turning it into?
I'm turning it into a turtle on its back. I don't know if I can do the on its back part, but
it passes its save.
Oh.
Okay, all right.
It does.
And
there are some creatures that have immutable forms, even though they're creatures,
right?
But it passes its save. So blue attempts to polymorph. It resists.
Okay. That's pretty much all I can do. Those are my actions. Yeah.
It's Ellie's turn. You may, even though you are restrained, you can still make a DC 13 strength check to break free of the restraint and try, if you still have movement left over, to get out. So you are 10 feet into the pool. It counts as difficult terrain, but you can still make that strength check.
I got a 20.
All right. So that's your action. You see Ellie sort of like break out of the surface there, covered in goo and slime. And you can, like, you've got movement left over, so you can walk out.
Yeah. I think that cancels her rage.
Yes.
Once she got into this goopy thing.
Uh-huh.
And she's gonna come out of it like, this is so gross. This is disgusting. I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I feel really weird. And like her hair's all like
Are you talking to the ooze?
Yeah, I'm talking to the ooze.
To the ooze.
Aw.
Ellie.
Everybody
And-
can be a friend.
Yeah, maybe.
Uh-huh.
But not anymore. And she'll probably try to talk to it like, can you just leave us alone, please? And then she'll just look at the goo, and it's just goo.
Yeah, it's
I'm
just
assuming.
goo. It's just like, it's pretty much just goo. There is sort of like a rudimentary psychic presence to it, clearly, but it's not like a sentient creature or anything. So Ellie's moved out of the ooze. Do you like get out of its reach, like, use the rest of your movement, or you just get out of the pool itself?
I'll get out of the pool, and then maybe try to hit it with my axe.
Okay.
Without a rage.
Oh no! I'm looking here in chat real quick. You took acid damage, so that keeps you have to either attack or take damage to keep your rage.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So Ellie still says that, but you can't understand it because she's like very angry, but inside she's like, "I'm sorry that I called you gross," but outside she's like, "Ah," and she is going to go into a frenzy.
All right.
So that is a 15 to hit.
15 hits.
Did that? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, its AC is like 8.
Oh, great. That's a 4 damage.
Okay. Ellie goes into a frenzy and starts, wailing on this thing, attacking. It's Mur, it's your turn, but sort of like judging the situation, you're not sure whether this thing can be hurt or
Okay.
what exactly it's capable of. Its range of effect is clearly pretty limited.
Okay, I'm like, everyone please evacuate from the room in an orderly fashion. That doorway, please. And I'll just gesture to the way, like, not the way we came in, but the way out, because obviously this is the right trail, because the skeleton, they have some reason to be over here besides just this little pit.
Mm-hmm.
And I will scoop up Gildan.
Mur's got Gildan.
I do.
Real
tempted to just give him as an offering for the acid pit after everyone evacuates and me back up, but I don't.
Don't.
I think really hard about it as I'm like holding his tiny form.
And if Gildan was awake and it was Mur in the position, I'd cast banishment on Mur and say, "She didn't make it, guys! She didn't make it!" as I go running out. I'm sorry.
No, I'd be like, "Oh, thank God, finally home. Hello, Dis."
No, I'm back.
I know where the portal to get back is. I'd find you.
Yeah. I think we lost TK.
I'm glad that we lost her only because I was like, she's giving me a really dirty look. She was like frozen.
She was still giving you a really dirty look.
Yeah. So, TK.
Rude.
What is Icky doing?
Spectrum.
Mur is calling for a retreat. Has got Gildan.
I do not know if this thing can be injured. We should leave it be and continue. I can't leave the pool.
I'm now the dungeon master, by the way.
What?
I'm now the dungeon master, according to.
Oh, sweet.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So what do we do, dungeon master?
Excellent.
Well,
I'm still Mur, so
It's round table.
everybody gets teleported into
Really?
this big field with big, weird yellow flowers that you've never heard before or seen.
I knew you were
or
going to
seen.
say dandelions. I'm so excited.
And then everybody roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no!
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh no! A natural one.
Oh no.
You all die.
Ah!
Oh,
Wow.
geez.
Oh wow. Oh, I thought something pleasant would happen.
That's really harsh, Anna. That's,
Pooled our constitution too. Perfect.
So Mur is retreating with Gildan. We'll kind of like snap out of the.
I feel like she's just nonchalantly walking with Gildan. Like, she's not hustling.
Yeah.
She's just like, let's go. You cannot leave.
And then Icky and Baloo are sort of near one another. Really, it's sort of Ellie that's over here, and I think maybe Bekroithoi, seeing what's going on, might try to like pull Ellie back from the edge. Just, we gotta go.
Yeah. Icky will say, "Make yourself useful."
Help her, please.
Ellie will be raging like, as Axeman will like pull her back.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Icky doesn't want to get in the way of that axe, so if Axe Dreamer gets a little nick here or there, she's
It'll
cool
be
with
fine.
it.
Yeah.
She's like, you can touch my daughter, but you're gonna pay for it.
It'll show its dedication at this point.
How much he loves her.
Oh.
Ooh.
Love is
Come on.
disgusting.
Well, yeah, he's trying to like pull Ellie back from the edge here, and just sort of like don't fall in and bring her back. So here's what sort of as everything kind of settles down and Ellie comes out of her rage. You guys, you went down one of the other tunnels, right, Mer?
Mm-hmm. Probably one that looks the most traversed.
Gotcha. You find yourself snaking back through some of these tunnels and enter into a room with a large, or sorry, not a large, but what looks like a very deep and very clear pool of water.
Oh. I dipped Gildan's toe into it to make sure it's water.
It's a really strong acid.
It's definitely water.
By the way, does anyone need any healing?
Yeah, I don't know. Eventually, I guess everybody sort of catches up with Mer.
I'm fine.
I'm gonna heal a little bit.
Yeah, Renev all took damage.
Ellie, are you feeling all right here? And I will cure wounds, Ellie. I will.
Yeah, I think I am. And she'll like
Ooh.
wax my upper
You
brow.
get max cure wounds. That's
Oh, sweet.
is 8 plus 5 is 13. So you get 13 HP back.
Ooh, thank you.
Ah.
Wow.
Ah.
All right, cool beans.
Yeah.
I'm good.
All right.
And then I look towards Axeman. And she'll like kind of look down a little bit shy. Sorry if I hurt you. I usually don't remember what happens when I get really angry.
Oh, it's no hurts. I mean, it's just an axe, right? It's easy to get out of the way of it.
I mean, not everybody, but sure.
No, but you look like you were about to fall back in, so best to get out of there. And he's, I think he has like a couple of acid burns that's, he's trying to brush off.
He's fine. Walk it off.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, Burr's letting him walk it off. He's not like real injured, so she's just like, yes, no.
It's just a scratch.
Here's a Hello Kitty Band-Aid.
As you kind of like take stock and rest up a bit here in this room with a very deep and clear pool of water, you can tell just sort of looking around the.
Would you say this is a short rest?
Oh yes.
Okay. In that case, I'm totally gonna use that shadow before my short rest so I can get it back, and I'm gonna be turned into the skeletal figure. And what kind of like thoughts, like surface thoughts, did he have? What basic information would he know that he'd share with a friend? Like, what's the baseline here?
Mm-hmm. So this creature was once, like a half orc of some kind, but it found this pool that you were at. And from interactions with that, slowly became this amalgam kind of hybrid intelligence, this sentient ooze that was inside a suit. Its surface thoughts were directed towards whatever experiments it was performing in the alchemy room, as well as
any good experiments.
Small experiments about trying to merge, this gelatinous life forms
Mm.
with intelligences,
Okay.
moving the bones and the like from these goblins to imbue other oozes with it. And I guess with the shadow would come just a general knowledge of the layout of this place.
Yeah.
There are dozens of rooms in here with slimes, oozes, and the like that are in various states of brewing, I guess would be
Okay.
the thing you could think of, or that would come to mind as this creature's surface thoughts. You know that they run all through the cliffside here that this depression is right in front of, and that for the most part there are a great many things that you could do with them, but they require time and
Okay. I'm gonna pull out. We use Gildan's back as like a clipboard.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna pull out like some paper and pen. I'm gonna like draw like a layout of the place before I forget. Because this will last for like an hour. And write down some of the stuff that I'm learning as we take our short rest.
Okay. And so Mer's doing that. What's everyone else doing during the short rest?
We're near this water, right?
Yes.
This like big pool of water.
Crystal clear.
Yeah, correct.
Crystal clear. I mean, is there any place that they could have run off from or come down from?
No.
Or does this probably underground water?
It seems like it, but it's something like this would be incredibly rare. What? Gildan's the girl from Waterworld. How does Blue interact with the pool?
He's a down to earth kind of guy. He's gonna sit next to it. He's gonna smell it. He's gonna dip his finger in. Smells what?
Smells clean.
Smells clean.
Yep.
He is going to cast Detect Poison and Disease.
There's a lot of it around here. You can see it up and down these tunnels, but there's nothing in this pool.
So this water is specifically clean, despite the fact that there's toxins everywhere. Neato. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely taking some of that.
Taking some of the water, refilling.
Yeah. That's fascinating. Yeah. Drink it.
It's very crisp,
Drink
very
it.
clean, refreshing.
Nice. Yeah. Start bottling it up.
Okay.
That's weird. Is there an implication that this ooze thing itself is the one experimenting? And if so,
I mean, yeah, that's sort of what Mer's getting is that.
I think the ooze thing might indeed be the bone sorcerer. Things as the rumors are that it anyone who goes to see it gets transformed into a puddle of ooze
with no bones.
And then bones are just left behind everywhere in that lake room.
That's one smart ooze.
And it is sentient, so it is trying to replicate itself, it seems.
Yeah, that's true.
That would seem something like that from Mer's understanding of its.
Quite clever. Quite clever.
So here, as we get sort of the end of tonight's game, give me an idea. Are you guys going to continue your exploration of these tunnels? Mer has a pretty good idea of what's in here, but also has an idea that there's really the value here is that this cave system is some sort of place of power for a certain type of magic creature. That's what your shadow sense kind of tells you. So are you guys going to stay here and sort of explore more, or are we maybe going to depart?
I think Mer's suggestion to the group is going to be this thing's super into alchemy. It's experimenting on other oozes. I'm sure there's got to be some failed experiments. Let's figure out what chemicals disintegrate oozes, grab some of them, and pour it on that guy in the other room.
We could work on it.
That is one way to diffuse the bone sorcerer if he is It's a bad chemical reaction. He cannot do this to anyone else. He's obviously corrupting minds, as we saw with
Yeah.
Iggy. Terrible. We really need to figure out some way to stop that.
You gotta watch out with your acids. I've watched enough Cutthroat Kitchen to know that.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yes,
yeah.
that cooking show with the goblins and the kobolds and yes,
Mhm,
it's in
mhm,
Trade every Thursday. Yes.
Yeah, they come around in their mummers costumes. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the loser gets his throat cut.
It's true. It's technically it's the slow cooker pulled pork like competition held annually. The loser gets his throat cut and they barbecue him up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then or turn him into chili depending on the time of year.
Yeah. Time of year, definitely. A good autumn chili.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the only thing of interest I think Blue would have is the alchemy room and anything of pretty much anything of interest. The fact that this thing would be smart enough to experiment like this, it kind of makes him think something else might be up with it. But that's just him.
Yeah. There is a. I mean, I don't know if there's like notes or anything with the alchemy supplies, but there's certainly a lot of ingredients and reagents and things like that are stocked here. With some time and knowledge, you can definitely prepare a lot of different alchemical substances from it. So I think that's sort of where the knowledge that you have gets you. Let's see. So you guys are going to stay here long enough to prepare something to actually kill this creature.
Yeah, that's what Mer wants to do.
Okay. Anybody else have thoughts?
He hates this. She hates like everything. She's like, why do I hang out with you?
Because it's so lame.
She's a little bit more interested in the idea there might be more of those like animated armor things. Since coming in there, they have met 4 creatures that are not these oozes. So where they're like only supposed to be a bone sorcerer, she trusts none of this. So she'll probably put Skitterstep up where he needs to be scouting out and everything and making sure nobody's disturbing them. He'll spend a lot of time on the ceilings. Before he does, she'll like lick him and like help with his acid burns a little bit. That's about it.
All right.
It's not going to heal him. She'll just lick him.
Yeah.
Just because.
Let him know she cares about him.
Try to clean his wounds.
Sure thing.
Yeah. Soothe him. Rub some aloe on it. Rub some dirt on it.
Yeah.
Some moss.
So as you guys take this brief rest and gather this information from the shadow that Mer captured and sort of Baloo's understanding of alchemy from his past, you're preparing to neutralize this creature, this ooze creature.
I think it is the bone sorcerer.
That Mer thinks is the bone sorcerer. We will have to determine sort of what happens as you also explore the rest of these caves and deal with this next week on here on WebDoom Twitch. Because tonight we're done. It's time to depart and leave the land between 2 rivers. Thank you everybody for coming out and hanging out with us tonight while we sort of goof around and play some Dungeons and Dragons. Let's go through our amazing cast of players, see how they're doing, where we can find them online, what they are up to, all that good stuff. Josh, how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm Beer for Charity on Twitter, and my schedule is a little borked, but I'll be on Twitch as well, drawing again soon. And yeah, hit me up. I'm an artist, and I also am funny sometimes when I want to be, and I'm not. Yeah, find me.
All right. Thank you, Josh. Anna.
Hello, I had a great time. I missed you guys last week. But I'm kind of stoked to maybe play off this maybe weird romance. Maybe it's not going to be a romance. I don't know. It depends what happens, I guess. Stay tuned for romance, or maybe not romance. But meanwhile, you guys can find me on Twitch as Cyborg Pizza, on Twitter and Instagram as Anna B Photo. And I think that's it, maybe. Oh, and I'm gonna be on Scraticus's channel soon for some anime RPG stuff.
Oh,
What type of anime RPG?
I forgot what the name is called because it's very new to me. Like
Oh.
Ryutama? Yes.
That's a really fun one.
Is that the one where you like? It's all about like exploration.
Mhm.
That's the one you have, Josh.
I have it. I've never
Ah,
played it.
That's pretty awesome. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
It has a
Awesome.
very interesting history too.
I'm excited to play it.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to play it.
You have to tell us how it is.
Mhm.
Awesome. And so, yeah, that's great. TK, how you doing?
Real stressed out, Jim.
You're
Cool. Nothing new.
He's a lot.
It's
Stressing
okay.
me out, man. Stressing me every week. Every week. I just know it. I'm TK. I write spooky stories on the internet. If you like spooky stories for free, you can look at them at the website that I finally paid for again, tkjwrites.com. Or you can follow me on Twitter, TK Joins the Fray, or somewhere else and see pictures of my cat. And it's either going to be TK Joins the Fray or TK Has Joined the Fray, depending on how many characters I'm allowed to have. On Wednesdays now, I am here hanging out, playing my Valley Girl Babylon, and we are going to have so much fun, guys. Oh my gosh. In the Invisible Sun RPG, Unearthly Twilights, headed by somebody here who is not Jim, and I will let him talk about that. And on Thursdays, obviously, I'm here. On Sundays, I'm on the D&D Twitch with Hell's Bells playing my princely boy Gil, who is now a, spoiler alert, mercy killer, wandering the plains with other tieflings. Super fun. Starting the... Look at my calendar, one sec. 18th, I will be on Don't Split the Podcast Network with James Introcaso and Rudy Basso and Obo Crazy and Robert Aducci with the Demon Plague campaign, and that's going to be fun. It's going to be from levels 1 to 20. We're going to start out. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to be playing my ultra vanilla, super fun, everybody's favorite auntie, Isabel Halfback, my half-orc fighter. That's it. That's all I have to say. Okay, I'm
Awesome. And Lindy.
Oh my goodness, this was a blast. I love this game so much. I was so sad when I couldn't play like the week before last or something. But I love what's going on between Brookoithic and Ellie. It's super cute. I like how they both just confuse each other, and it's like, oh, they're learning.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see where it goes. I have plans regardless of if it's a budding romance or not. So, I'm fine. And it was so tempting to not throw Gildan in as I walked out. Like, here you go, ooze, bye. But I didn't. Mer was good. Mer thought about it, and the lawful thing to do was to not throw him in the ooze. So that's what she went with.
That's very true.
But yeah, my past couple weeks have been kind of a weird influx schedule thing because between seasons for a lot of shows, but I am getting more of a schedule next week and I'm super excited. My main thing is I'm going to be DMing Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition starting Tuesday from 5 to 8 p.m. on Encounter Roleplay. I'm super excited. It's going to be in New Orleans in the late 1800s. And also the next season of Call of Cthulhu Masks of Nyarlathotep starts on Wednesday from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern on Encounter Roleplay as well. And I'm super hyped for those. And then, there's other things that go on and I'll be here next week, but you can check my Twitter for when I'm going live and stuff. I also play video games and it's a lot of fun. So.
Excellent. Awesome. I'm really excited to check out the new Vampire. So I'm glad that there's some trains to check and see how it's going. Excellent. And Grant, Gildan is feigning death most of the session, but he's with us in spirit.
I figured it would be the best strategy to get the drop on whatever monster you were throwing at us. as I feign death.
No!
My name
IRL.
is... You know who I am. My name is Grant Ellis. I'm an independent content creator for tabletop role-playing games, primarily 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons and Cypher System. I am a producer here on WebDM for the Twitch channel, WebDM Grant in certain circles. And on the Twitters, you can follow me at WisePapaGrant. It's above my beautiful face. I run 3 Invisible Sun shows, Unearthly Twilights, A Star-Crossed Rose in the Garden of Midnight, and My Neon Life Amongst the Casually Unreal on 3 different channels, but it's one campaign, and all the characters and stories interweave and connect. I'm also a cast member on Monty Cook Games' Owl of Lycia campaign that takes place on Sundays. I am the tabletop director for Gex Convention, as well as a showman at conventions around the country. The next convention you can catch me at should be PAX Unplugged. It sounds like they're trying to book me for 2 more before then. I may be at TwitchCon. We'll see. So always appreciate coming out. I figured, I don't know, I was just feeling in my heart of hearts, maybe if Gildan was up, he would have done some shenanigans to wipe the party. I don't know. It felt like I was like, Mer, stab me, let me lie here and bleed, and then I'll pretend to be dead.
He's a danger to himself and others, I'm telling you.
Yeah, awesome. And yes, Gildan is, or sorry, not Gildan, but Grant is running production on our Twitch shows now. So give him a big hand as he is a player and running
big hand. It's my big hand. Hobbit size.
I am, of course, Jim Davis, co-host and one half of WebDM, where you can find us on YouTube, where we have weekly DM advice and RPG inspiration videos. We are here on Tuesdays with Starward Bound, and of course Thursdays for Land Between Two Rivers, and now on Wednesdays with Invisible Sun campaign. We've got that VOD of the session 0 from yesterday up, so if you want to see us just riffing and coming up with cool ideas and building on each other, sort of weird, creepy, surrealist impulses, come check it out while we play through that game. Otherwise, we will see you here on Tuesday for Starward Bound, and have a great weekend, guys. See you later.